Good morning, Anandal. Today we are going to discuss about the distribution feeder. Okay, this is the second topic in the unit 2. Okay, what is the first topic? That is the substations. Okay, and second topic is the distribution feeders. Okay, now in the present class we are discussing about the basic introduction about the distribution feeders and also the types of primary feeders First of all, generally the power system or the energy management system is divided into three parts. Okay, that is generation, transmission and distribution. Okay, in that distribution systems we are having the distribution substations, that is the primary systems and secondary systems. Okay, this is the primary system and in between we are having the distribution transformers and secondary systems, and that we are using the connected load or the utility area. Okay, totally the power system or the energy management system is divided into three parts. Okay, generation, transmission and distribution. Okay, the part of the electrical power systems exists between distribution substations and the distribution transformers is known as the primary systems. Okay, this is the primary system. This is the part of a electrical system. Okay, it is a part of a electrical system existing between the distribution substations and distribution transformers. Okay, it is known as the primary systems. It is known as a primary systems. Okay, which consisting of a primary feeders. Okay, between the distribution transformers and the utility loads is the secondary systems. Okay, next, what are the factors that will be affected for the selection of a primary feeders? Okay, what are the factors that will be selected for the primary feeders? Is the first one is the nature of the load connected. Okay, which type of the load, that is residential, commercial, industrial or agriculture, which type of the load that will be connected to the distribution systems. Okay, next one is demand within a specified time intervals. Okay, what is the demand is there and how much amount of the demand will be there, that will be within a specified intervals. Next, growth rate. Okay, next one is the growth rate of a load, how the load will be increases. Next, type and the cost of a circuits, types and the cost of a circuits and regulating equipments. Okay, and regulating equipments. Okay, next one is the capacity of substations. Okay, next one is the capacity of substations. Okay, these are all the various types of a primary feeders. Okay, these are all the various types of a primary feeders. First one is the nature of the load. First, which type of the load is there and how much load growth will be there and what is the demand is there and what is the growth is there and what is the type and the cost of the circuits and what is the capacity of the systems. Okay, that all will be observed for selection of a primary feeders. That all will be observed for the selection of the primary feeders. Okay, next one is the types of a primary feeders. Okay, we are having the three types of primary feeders are there. Three types of primary feeders are there. In that, first one is the radial type of feeder, loop type of feeder, network type of feeders. Okay, the feeders, the primary feeders is divided into three types. Okay, that is radial type of feeder, loop type of feeder, network type of feeders. Okay, these are the basic three types of feeders in the case of a primary feeder system. Okay, first, radial type of feeder. Okay, what is meant by the radial feeder? We already well known about the radial distribution systems, loop distribution systems, or ring main distribution systems. Okay, that all will be studied in the case of a power systems one subject. Same as that of the primary feeders is divided into three types, that is the radial type of feeders, loop type of feeders, next one is the network type of feeders, next one is the network type of feeders. Okay, this is the radial type of distribution feeders. Okay, what is meant by the radial? In that only we are having the one input. Okay, and all other laterals and the loads will be connected at a particular line. If any faults will be obtained at that feeder line, then all the load points will be shut down. Why? Because means that in that we are using only feeder, one feeder. Okay, one input line. Okay, if any faults will be obtained at that input line, all the laterals will be and all the loads will be disturbed. Okay, this is the distribution substation, and this is the circuit breaker, and this is the main feeder, and this is the main feeders. Okay, suppose if any problem or the any faults will be obtained at that main feeder, therefore the total load will be disconnected from the supply. Okay, this is the total loads connected to this main feeder, and these are the sub feeders. In that we are connecting the some laterals are there, that laterals are the distribution transformers. Okay, these are the distribution transformers. Okay, it is called as the laterals. Okay, these lines are called as the laterals, and these lines are called as the sublaterals. Okay, these lines are called as the sublaterals, and these are all the sublaterals. Okay, and this is the main feeder. This is the main feeder. In that main feeder we are connecting the number of loads or the number of laterals. Okay, by using that laterals only we are giving the supply to the various load ends. If any faults will be obtained at that main feeder, if any faults will be obtained in the case of a main feeder, the total load will be disconnected from the supply. The total load will be disconnected from the supply. Okay, some of these laterals are divided into sub branches which are called as the sublaterals. Okay, these are all the sublaterals. Okay, this is the lateral. These laterals will be divided into sub branches. Okay, this is the sub branch 1 and this is the sub branch 2. Okay, therefore this type of laterals are called as the sublaterals. This type of laterals are called as the sublaterals. Okay, therefore the branch of feeders is called as the laterals. This is the branch of feeders. Okay, this is the branch of feeder and this is the branch of feeder. This is branch of feeder, branch of feeders, and these are all the parts of the laterals are the sublaterals, and this is the branch of the feeder is called as the laterals, and the parts of a branches is called as the sublaterals. Okay, branch of laterals are called as the sublaterals. Okay, in general main feeder is a three phase, the laterals are three phase and the single phase. Okay, the laterals and sublaterals have the transformers, fuses and distribution transformers. Okay, the main laterals and the sublaterals are having the transformers, fuses and the distribution fuses. Okay, this is the radial type of feeders. Okay, the radial feeders are most common type of feeders. Okay, these feeders are very simple in construction and low cost. Okay, these are the major advantages in the case of a radial feeders, and disadvantages are the less reliable and low service and power continuity. Why? Because it having the discontinuity of the power means that in that we are using the only, okay, in that we are using the we are using the only one main feeder. Okay, this is the one main feeder. Okay, all the laterals will be connected to this main feeder only. If any faults will be obtained in that main feeder, then the total supply will be disconnected. Therefore, the discontinuity of the supply will be obtained in the case of the radial feeder. Okay, that is the main disadvantage in the case of a radial feeders. Okay, the advantage for that radial feeder is that the construction is simple. Okay, the construction is simple and cost is also less when compared to the other type of feeders. When compared to the other type of feeders, the cost and the construction is simple. Okay, that is the disadvantages. Okay, in the radial feeder, if a fault occur at any location on the feeder, it causes a power failure for every consumers until the clearance of the fault, until clearance of the faults. Okay, so radial feeder has low service continuity. To overcome this problem, we are designing the tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay, we are using the tie and the sectionalizing switches. Why? Because we are using the tie and the sectionalizing switches means that by using this tie and the sectionalizing switches, the continuity of the supply will be increased. Okay, the most of the distribution systems are designed as the radial distribution systems. Okay, the radial distribution feeders are less in cost, simple in operation, and simple in constructions. In this, the only single path between each consumer and the substation, hence the electrical faults only in the single path. Okay, due to the fault occurrence in the systems, okay, the fault flows in this path. Okay, in order to provide the reliable service to the consumers, okay, we are connecting the radial feeders with tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay, the radial feeders with are connected with tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay, this is the radial feeder with tie and the sectionalizing switches, and this is the distribution substation. This is the main circuit breaker and this is the main feeders. Okay, these are the switches and the tie connection. Okay, these are the switches and the tie connection. Okay, what is the use of these switches and the tie connection? This is the modified radial type of primary feeders with tie and the sectionalizing switches. With tie and the sectionalizing switches to provide fast and restoration of the service to the consumers. For improving the continuity of the supply, we are using the tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay. Unfaulted sections of the feeder to an adjacent primary feeders. Okay, the fault can be isolated by opening the associated disconnecting device on each side of the faulted section. Okay, these switches are called as the tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay, suppose the fault will be obtained at this case at particular area, then only this switch will be operated, then these loads will be disconnected. Okay, if any fault occurs at a particular area, by opening the tie and the sectionalizing switches, that fault is permitted to that particular area only, to that particular area only. No effect of remaining consumers, no effect of remaining consumers. Okay, also these switches used to bypass the power from one feeder to another feeder are laterals or sublaterals. Okay, by operating of these switches, that power will be flowing from the one laterals to the another laterals. Okay, this is the another advantage for using of tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay. Next, radial feeder with express feeders. Okay, radial feeder with express feeder. For improving the continuity of the supply, for improving the continuity of the supply, we are using the radial feeder with the express feeders. Okay, this is the another type of radial feeder with express feeders and back feeders. Okay, this is the radial feeder. Okay, this is the radial feeder, and in that we are connecting the one extra express feeder. Okay, this is the express feeder. If any fault is obtained in that feeder, this feeder will be operated continuously. The section of the feeder between the substation location bus and the load centers of the service area and an express feeders. Okay, the laterals and sublaterals are not allowed to be tapped the express feeders. Okay, in that express feeders, there is no connection of the laterals and the sublaterals. Okay, the subfeeder is used to provide the path from the load center to the service area. Okay, this express feeder is used to path from the distribution systems to the load center. Okay, there is no laterals in between the express feeders. Okay, this is the express feeders, and there is no laterals in between the distribution substation to the load center. Directly we are connecting the one single feeder line. Okay, that feeder is called as the express feeder. The path which is provided to the distribution systems is known as the back path feeder. Okay, back path. In above cases, each dot represents the balanced three-phase loads. Okay, in this main feeder, we are having the number of laterals. Okay, these are all the laterals. In that laterals, the dot will be representing as the number of loads. Okay, in that express feeder, there is no tappings or the load center. There is no laterals. Why? Because we are doesn't use any laterals, means that only that express feeder will be operated when the fault will be obtained at the main feeder for improving the continuity of the supply. For improving the continuity of the supply, indicates the distribution transformers with fuses, loads. Okay, for special and important loads which should not disturbed by any faults. Okay, and any other power quality problems. Okay, these loads are served by the express feeders. Okay, these loads are served by the express feeders if any faults are obtained in the main feeder. If any faults are obtained in the main feeder, in that case the express feeder will be operated. Okay, this is the express feeder. If any faults will be obtained in that main feeder, in that case only the express feeder will be operated for improving the continuity of the supply. Okay, these are the three types of a radial feeders. Okay, this is the normal radial feeder. Okay, this is the normal radial feeder. In that we are using only single feeder. For improving the continuity of the supply, we are using the radial feeder with tie-sectionalizing switches. Okay, in that also we are using the one main feeder or the single feeder. But in that single feeder, we are using the switches or the tie sectionalizers. We are using the tie sectionalizers or the switches. Okay, what is the use of these switches? If any faults will be obtained, only that particular faulted area will be disconnected. Okay, other area will be continuity of the supply. For improving the continuity of the supplies, we are using the tie and the sectionalizing switches. Okay, tie and the sectionalizing switches. Next, third type is the radial feeder with express feeders. Okay, what is the use of express feeder? If any faults will be obtained at the main feeder. Okay, in that main feeder, we are having the number of laterals and the sublaterals. Okay, these are all the laterals. Okay, these are all the laterals. And these are all the laterals. And this is the sublaterals. Okay, that laterals will be divided into more than two parts. Then it is called as the sublaterals. Okay, that dotted is indicated as the load points. The dotted will be indicates as the load point. Okay, in that express feeder, there is no laterals in between this feeder. Okay, there is only single feeder that will be connected in between the distribution substation to the loads laterals, distribution center to the load centers. Okay, if any faults will be obtained at the main feeder, okay, in that case only we are using the express feeders. Okay, otherwise the main feeder will be working normally. Okay, otherwise the main feeder will be working normally. Okay, these are the three types of a radial type of feeders. Okay, next, understand the next one is loop type of feeder. Next one is the loop type of feeder. Okay, this will be is in the form of a loop mode. Okay, this is the distribution substation and this is the circuit breaker and this is the main feeder. Okay, this is the main feeder. Switches, laterals, sublaterals and distribution transformers. Okay, these feeders are connected in the loop type. These distributors are connected in the loop type. Okay, because of this arrangement, if any fault occurs to one side, the loads are served from the other path. If any faults will be obtained on one side, the loads will be served by the other type. Okay, in the case of a loop type primary feeders, we are using the loop type disconnecting switches are used. Okay, we are using loop type disconnected switches. Okay, in that the size of the feeder conductor is same throughout the loop. Okay, disconnected switches. Okay, these are the disconnected switches. Okay, these are the disconnected switches. In that the size of this feeder conductor is same throughout the loop. Okay, throughout the loop. Next, in that loop type primary feeders which loops through the feeder load area and return back to the load buses. Sometimes the loop type disconnecting switches is replaced by a loop type breakers. Okay, this arrangement provides the two parallel paths from the substation to the load. Okay, this is the substation and this is the load centers. Okay, there is a two parallel paths connected between the substation to these loads. Okay, this arrangement provides the two parallel paths from the substation to the load. Okay, when the loop is operated with normally open type breakers are the disconnected switches. Okay, this loop is operated by the breakers are the disconnected switches. Okay, these are the disconnected switches. This loop will be operated by the operation of these switches and the circuit breakers. Okay, the primary fault causes the feeders brakes to be open. The breaker will remain open. Okay, the loop type primary feeder arrangement is especially benefit to the provide the service areas for the loads where high service reliability is the important. Okay, which type of loads are wanted for continuity of the supply, high reliability of that supply. Okay, in that case this will be used. Okay, the main disadvantages of that loop type is we require the large conductor and extra capacity. Okay, therefore increases the cost. Okay, this is the large conductor. Okay, we require the large conductor, therefore the cost of that conductor will be increases. Okay, in addition to the main feeder loop, normally open lateral loops are also used. Okay, open loops are also used. Okay, this is the loop type of feeder. Okay, because of this arrangement, if any faults are occur to one side, loads are served from the other parts. Okay, that is if one direction blocks because of the fault, loads are served from the another direction. Okay, this loop type of feeders provides the high service reliability and continuities. Okay, there are mostly preferred good for the underground systems. Okay, these types of design is mostly preferred for the underground systems. Okay, why? Because we are using that underground systems as the loop type means in that we are obtaining the various faults. Okay, that fault identification is also difficult. Okay, that's why in that case we are using the loop type of feeders. Then we improve the reliability of the service or the operation. Next, okay, in that last type, that is the third type, is the network type of feeders. Okay, last type, that is third type, is the network type of feeders or the primary networks. Okay, this is a system of interconnected feeders supplied by the number of substations. Okay, in that we are connecting the number of substations. Okay, this is the substation A, substation B, substation C, substation D, and substation E. Okay, we are connecting the n number of distribution substations. Okay, that's why in the name itself it is called as the network. Okay, in the previous cases we are using only one distribution substation. Okay, this is the one single distribution substation. Okay, in that also we are using single distribution systems. Okay, this is the single distribution systems, and this is also single distribution systems. But in the primary network type or the network type of distribution systems, we are using the network type of feeders, we are using the number of substations. Okay, is a system of interconnected feeders supplied by the number of substations. Okay, therefore the primary network system supplies a load from the several directions. Therefore this substation is supplied from the load for a several directions. And this is the substation A to substation E, and A to C, and A to B, and A to D. We are having the number of connections is there in between the substations to the substations. Okay, it is completely in complicated in construction. Okay, the construction is complicated. Why? Because we are using the number of substations that will be interconnected. Okay, therefore the cost is increases and high reliability, and also give the continuity of the supply. Okay, and also we are getting the continuity of the supply. Therefore in that case we are obtaining the continuity of the supply. Okay, in that case we are obtaining the continuity of the supply. Okay, the reliability of the system will be increases. Okay, high complex in operations. Okay, the losses occurred in the primary networks are lower. Okay, the losses will be occurred in this network is low. Okay, therefore the size of conductor required is the high. Why? Because the size of conductor required is high. We are having the number of interconnections. Okay, these are the number of interconnections between the one substation to the another substation. Okay, between the one substation to the another substation. If any substation fail to serve the required demand of electricity, being it is a network type. Okay, these loads can be served by other substations. Okay, these loads can be served by other substations. Okay, that is the loads can be served to the maximum extent from various directions. Okay, the loads can be served by the maximum extensions for various loads. Okay, this is the advantage of network type feeder systems. Okay, this is the advantage of a network type feeder systems. Okay, next, what are the advantages are there in the case of a network type of distribution systems? Okay, more reliability is obtained while using the network type of substations. Okay, we increase the reliability. Next one, we are giving the continuity of the supply. Okay, and then we are giving the quality of the power, and then reduce the losses or the less losses that will be obtained in the case of a primary type of network. Therefore, in the case of a primary type network, we are using the number of substations. Okay, we are using the number of substations. Okay, that is substation A, substation B, substation C, substation D, and substation E. Okay, each and every substations are interconnected to each other. Therefore, we increasing the reliability of the operation and also the continuity of the supply. But the cost of the feeder and the cost of that conductor is increases. The cost of the conductor is increases. Okay, this is the third type of a feeder, that is the network type of feeders. Okay, basically we are having the three types of distribution feeders are there, that is radial type of distribution systems, okay, loop type distribution systems, and network type of distribution systems. Okay, in that radial distribution system, again we are improving the continuity of the supply. We are using the three types. Okay, that is normal radial distribution feeders. Next one is the radial distribution feeders with ties and sectionalizing switches. Okay, tie and the sectionalizing switches. Next one is the radial feeder with express feeder. Okay, this is the radial feeder with express feeders. Okay, in that radial feeder or the main feeder, they are having the number of tappings, but in this express feeders, there is no tappings in between this. Okay, only the connection is the between distribution system to the direct load centers. Okay, there is no any other tappings or laterals or sublaterals. Only in the main feeder we are having the n number of laterals and the sublaterals. Okay, these are all the sublaterals. Okay, that dots indicates the load densities or the loads. Okay, these are all the loads. Okay, that will be connected to that laterals. Okay, for increasing the reliability of the operation or for increasing the continuity of the supply, we are using the radial feeders with express feeders. Okay, for improving the good continuity or the good reliability operation, we are designing the another type, that is the loop type of system. Okay, in that feeder or the conductor will be formed in the case of a loop. Okay, in that loop also we are using the number of switches for continuity of that supply. Okay, this is the switches. Okay, these switches are used in that loops for continuity of the supply or for improving the reliability of that operation. Okay, next last type is the network type of feeders. Okay, in that network type of feeders, the input is given by the number of substations. Okay, the input is given by the number of substations, that is substation A, substation B, substation C, and substation D. Okay, that all the substations will be interconnected to each other for improving the efficiency and reliability of that operations. Okay, the switching equipments required is very high in this case of network type of feeders. Okay, in that we are using the number of switching equipments for giving the continuity of the supply. Okay, highly complex in the operation. Okay, the losses occurring in the primary networks are lower and the size of the primary network is more and the size of the conductor required is also high. Why? Because means that there is no n number of interconnectors are there from the substations to the another substations. Therefore, the cost of this conductor will be more, but the continuity of the supply will be obtained so much. That's why we are using the network type of feeders. Okay, this type of feeders will be used in the large scale industries. Okay, this type of feeders will be connected in the large scale industrial areas. That is the, we are having the number of loads are there. Depending upon the loads, we are deciding the continuity of the supply. Okay, depending upon that continuity of the supply, we are deciding which type of distribution feeder is connected for that particular loads. Okay, this all will be selected for the different types of feeders. Okay, these are the three types of a feeders are there in the case of a primary distribution feeders for improving the continuity of the supply for the utility of the different consumers. Next of all, okay, this is the basic introduction and the types or classifications of a primary distribution feeders. Okay, in the next class we are discussing about the what are the applications of A, B, C, D general circuit constants to the radial feeders. Okay, how that the radial feeders will be affected with the general circuit components are the general circuit constants, that is A, B, C, D constants. Okay, that will be discussed in the next class. Okay, understand ma? Okay, this is the second unit, second topic, that is the distribution feeders. Okay, in that second unit, we already studied about the substations. Okay, what is meant by the substations? How many types of substations are there? How the substational area will be calculated and how the voltage drops will be calculated at a particular substations, that is like square wave area, hexagonally shaped areas, and n number of primary distribution feeders will be connected. Okay, in all the areas we are how we will calculate the voltage drops. Okay, that all will be discussed in the substational topic. Okay, in the same second unit we are discussing about the distribution feeders also. Okay, we are consisting of a two parts, substations and the distribution feeders. Okay, in that distribution feeders, first what is meant by the feeder and what is meant by the distributor? A distributor is a conductor from which tappings from are taken from the supply to the consumers. Okay, what is meant by the feeder? A feeder is a conductor which connected the substation to the area where the power is to be distributed. Okay, generally there is no tappings in that feeders. Okay, in that feeder we are connecting the number of laterals. In that laterals we are connecting the number of loads. Okay, directly there is no tappings in between that feeders. Feeder means that will be connected directly between the generating station to the substations. There is no connection of the load in between any feeders. Okay, only we are connecting the number of laterals and also the sublaterals. Okay, in that laterals and the sublaterals we are connecting the n number of loads are the loads. Okay, different loads. Okay, that is called as the feeder and the distributors. And how many types of feeders, the primary distribution feeders are there? Means the radial distribution type, loop type and network type. Okay, each type of distribution feeders will be used for that different loads are the different types of consumers. Okay, that is like agriculture, industrials and commercial consumers. Okay, which type of load is suitable for that, which type of consumers? Okay, that all will be decided. Okay, for the that will be depending upon the continuity of the supply, which type of consumers required for the continuity of that supply. Okay, the network type of feeders gives the more reliable operation and more continuity of the supply, but the cost of that distribution system is more. Okay, that's why this will be used in the case of a large scale industries for continuity of the supply. Okay, in that it does not want any discontinuity of the supplies. Therefore, we are using only that network type of feeders will be used in the case of a large scale industries. Okay, these are the different types of a primary distribution feeders. Okay, next class, in the next class we are discussing about the what is the effect for that generalized circuit